Yep, yep. This is probably where I speak for around here. This is probably like normal speaking voice, something around this. Yeah, hopefully that's all good. Is that sounding good? If I get excited, probably somewhere around here. Hopefully, probably a little louder. Probably a little louder than this. So maybe compensate a little extra for that.
Like it should start on time, you reckon? Going on 3:30?
Hopefully, yeah. Is it going to be in the way? The NPL men's season in full swing as we bring you round 5 action on a Sunday from a very warm Lambert Park, with both teams having mixed results to start the year, with some games showing they can be real threats, while in others showing that there might still be a bit more work to do as the season goes on. It's APIA Leichhardt hosting Sydney FC. Will Constantinides with you from the box at Lambert Park, and a very sunny day for football, if not a bit on the warmer side. No doubt the players would have appreciated the water cannon that was sprinkling water over the synthetic here pre-match. And without any further delay, let's get straight into the team news, starting first with APIA. Franco Parisi's side coming to this one off back-to-back losses after picking up 4 points in their first 2 games, but they've had no trouble finding the back of the net. It's been keeping the ball out of their own. That's been the problem, with 12 conceded from their first 4 matches, something that Franco Parisi will certainly want to address for his charges. Just the one change from the side that lost 4-3 to Blacktown at Landon Stadium last week. Joel Berdilicio drops to the bench, and he's replaced by APIA veteran Josh Simmons at the back. So no doubt a bit of experience and a reliable player that Franco Parisi can have there to try and anchor his side this afternoon. As for Sydney FC, they haven't scored in their last 2 matches, with the young academy side hoping to find the back of the net today against an uncharacteristically leaky APIA defence. Speaking to Jimmy Van Wieren before the game, he said it was great to see the success of his academy players being called into the A-League side, the Asian Champions League 2 side and even the young Socceroos squad with Thiago Quintal and Gus Hofslut making the Asian Champions winning side. But he did say that that can hurt his side on the weekend sometimes, but knows that they have a system that they can rely on. Their starting 11, we'll get to the team news. Full starting 11s for the both teams. So taking a look first at Sydney FC. Back, number 4, Joe Kalisic. Number 5 is Corey Cronin. 6 is Tyler Williams. 9 is Matthias McAllister. 11 is Marin France. 21 is Zach DeJesus. 22, Will Kennedy. 25, the captain, Alan Harbas. 27, Lockie Middleton. 29, Joe Lacey. And number 30, returning, is Gus Hofslut. As for APIA, their full starting 11, the home side is number 2, Saya Kambiashi. Number 4, the new inclusion, Josh Simmons. Number 7 is Jack Stewart. Number 9, Presley Ortiz. 15, Temba Mwatamalo. 17, Jordan Segredo. 18, the captain, Adrian Uchino. 21 is Michael Kuda. 22, Eddie Caspers. 24, Cameron Fong. And in goal is number 80, Ollie Kalatz. Giving it over to our right, the Cove, who in full voice ahead of this one, bringing plenty of atmosphere. It's a great crowd here at Lambert Park. Plenty of APIA fans showing up for their side. Of course, it is a big day for the club, with the women's side playing their first game of the season later today against the MacArthur Rams. But we're all set to kick off here, as Sydney FC will try and gain control of possession early. Sydney, they do love to keep the ball. They well organised in attack, really. It's been the last 2 games, finding that cutting edge has been the difference. They did pick up a draw last week against Manly. That was nominally a home fixture. It was at Cromer Park, even though it was listed as a Sydney FC home game against Manly. You can see are well set at the moment. They've gone to a back 4 today. Perhaps a little bit different than what we might be used to seeing from them to start the season. So used to seeing them line up in a back 5. That's been a big shift from where they were last year. As APIA get a throw on the far side, it'll be Cameron Fong to take. Knocks it short to Stewart, and now APIA can play here with Kambiashi. Here's Fong again. For some support, tries to take his man down the wing instead, but it's promptly won back by Sydney. Kambiashi has to try and dig himself out of trouble. He has Lockie Middleton on his back for company, and Sydney are able to win possession here. Obviously dropping it back short to Kalisic, and can Sydney find their way out of this corner that APIA are trying to force them into. They go back to Hofslut. Well, one in the air by Matamalo. Very physically imposing at the back, but APIA can't win the second ball, and it comes down with Will Kennedy. Tight touches in midfield. Lacey's touch was picked off by Chino. Possession being almost exclusively held on that far side of the pitch in front of the Joe Marston Pavilion, and it's all been in Sydney FC's half. APIA are willing to let them keep it there for now. And they wait for the error, and it eventually comes as Kuda intercepts that pass. Swings it wide for Segredo, trying to take his man one-on-one. Segredo has a couple defenders for company. Good cross in, and it's an excellent finish. Michael Kuda, a silver service ball from Jordan Segredo, and it's just the start APIA would have wanted. So clinical from APIA. Kuda continued his run. And a great finish into the bottom corner. And APIA hadn't had much of the ball really to start these first couple of minutes. They were willing to let Sydney keep it. But they took their chance when it came. Just 3 minutes gone. And what about the work from Jordan Segredo? Took his man one way, then the other. A great pass coming in, and there were a couple of players queuing up. If it wasn't Kuda, it would have been Presley Ortiz. And APIA have started fast here at Lambert Park. It's Michael Kuda's second goal of the season. 2 goals in his first 5 appearances for the Futsal-Roo. And that's what Michael Kuda can give you. He's so efficient at going forward. And that time he just made an underlapping run. It seemed like everyone's eyes were on Jordan Segredo, and all the attention of the defence would have been on Presley Ortiz. And Michael Kuda simply waltzed into the box unmarked. And coolly obliged with the finish. Not much Gus Hofslut could have done about that. Now we'll see how Jimmy Van Weeren's young side will respond to a goal down so early. Here's Kuda again. Segredo. Darting ball inside to Caspers, and him and Uchino exchange passes. Early release pass for Jack Stewart, and there's been a handball there on Corey Cronin, and just seemed to catch the Sydney FC defender off guard. Now this is prime real estate for a free kick here. And Jordan Segredo's taken full ownership of this one. It's 23, 24 yards out in front of goal. Almost directly in line with that right post. There'll be 4 in the wall for Hofslut. And Segredo already has 2 goals to his name for the season. Lines up for this free kick. Segredo gets it over the wall. It takes a big deflection. It will be a corner, but I don't think that was too far away there from Jordan Segredo. But Gus Huxlett set his wall well, and he did the job there. Crowd continues to build here at Lambert Park. It's really filling up over to our left. As mentioned, the Cove making plenty of noise over to our right. In comes the corner. Cambiashi to deliver. It's deep to the back post. Simmons goes up for it. Stewart lays it off for Segredo. And he struck that well. It cannoned off the back of a couple of City defenders, and it'll be another APIA corner. Cambiashi again to deliver. This time the in-swinging right footed delivery. This time it's near post instead of far. Segredo thought about lining up for the volley, but it's promptly taken off him by Marin France. Cambiashi again recovers from taking the corner. Here is Caspers now. Apia will reset through Simmons. Stewart. Oh, lovely skill by Jack Stewart. Can he find the pass? It was well defended though by Sydney, and now they can go the other way. Tyler Williams intercepting that one. Here is Zach DeJesus. A bit too strong there on Marin France. Easy call for our official. Cove making their voices heard about that one. This is their first real foray into the attacking half. We haven't seen them get through here too many times. Good ball forward. France and DeJesus are there. After a goal kick, but Sydney's showing some signs of life on the attacking end. Now he's a very physical winger. He does win the header, but Presley Ortiz wasn't close enough to help him out there as Hoofslet this time goes long, and he's searching for France on this wing, but it's allowed to roll out for a throw. Scooter goes quick, and Simmons wants Uchina to turn out, and they work the triangles well out to Temba and Guatemala. Fong now. Into Cambiashi. Stewart. Darting inside. Loses possession. Uchina goes sliding in, but France beats him to it. Matthias McAllister is under heavy pressure from Simmons, and the veteran beats the youngster, and a bit of fancy feet there from Josh Simmons. And the pass to Presley Ortiz wasn't quite the same quality. Ortiz, can he keep this one in? He does well. He crosses it to Stewart. And it almost looked like Sydney FC were going to give up on that ball there, but Stewart was able to, or Ortiz rather, was able to keep it in. And again, Sydney FC, they've seen plenty of the ball in this area in the early stages, but it's been about converting it into the attacking half that's been the difficulty. Already finding themselves a goal down. It's going to be a difficult task against APIA, but APIA's defensive struggles so far this season are well documented. Here's Kalisic. Good pass around the corner by Harbas. Sydney FC can keep things moving here. It's a good ball forward from McAllister, but just a little bit overhit there. And Kalas can easily play him. Speaking to Sydney FC coach Jimmy Van Wieren before the game about what his side can do to attack APIA, he recognised that APIA might be a bit weak on set pieces and in transition. respect to Franco Parisi, he admitted the same thing, that half their goals this season have come from dead ball opportunities, be those penalties, corners, free kicks. Franco Parisi did say that he's going to trust the process with his side, that they had the data to back up that eventually the goal should stay away for a little bit. For now, though, they'll have to worry about Sydney FC attacking. Great feet on the far side by Corey Cronin. Zapia tried to go forward quickly, but Ortiz is isolated up top in that instance. Quick turn by Lacey. Now with Cronin. Will Kennedy. Middleton had to be careful there. Caspers was on his tail. Still Sydney keep control possession. Cronin is tasked with chasing down that ball, but Fong beats him to it and sends it over the drainage tanks for a throw. Harvest. Middleton again is pressured by Caspers. He goes to ground and Caspers gives away the foul. Free kick taken a bit too quickly. We'll go back to the start and Sydney FC will resume play once more as they swing it to Tyler Williams. Here's Kalisic. Middleton. Now Sydney making a bit more of an advance into the attacking half, but Simmons has stepped out of the defensive line and it's a straight 3-on-3 here for APIA with Cambiashi on the far side. Simmons takes it forward out to Presley Ortiz, looking to get onto his right foot. Had his progress stopped momentarily, and in the end that's enough for Sydney to see away the danger. About the work from Josh Simmons. He's come into the starting lineup today and he's already made a big difference. Of course, APIA, as mentioned, switching from the back five to the back four. Stewart puts in a overhit pass. So Seiya Cambiashi, who was previously the right wing back, or left wing back in a back five, and Michael Kuda was previously part of the centre back trio. Kuda's moved out to left back, and Cambiashi's gone into the number 10 role. Just goes to show how versatile Seiya Cambiashi is. He's capable of playing in the midfield on right back, right wing. His skill set can make him so valuable in a number of positions. And so far for APIA, it's working a treat. It's 1-0 up, and I would definitely say in control. While Sydney FC might have slightly more possession, most have been in their own half. Now, a bit more of a discussion over this free kick. Might be more of a crossing opportunity here. Segredo to take. Back post it goes. Temba Mwatamala was the intended target, but Sydney are able to clear. And as Corey Cronin has the pace to beat Adrian Uchino, and Sydney might think about the counter here. That's a great pass out towards Myron France if he can get there. Caspers goes to ground on the challenge and wins enough of the ball to avoid getting pulled up for the foul. Now the ball is just stuck down in the corner there for APIA as Sydney will try and box them in. Kuda will try and launch this throw. Presley Ortiz has come down to try and help him out. Segredo also the short option. That's where they go. And he's immediately hounded. Had Will Kennedy on his back, and now Sydney win possession. There's Lacey. Marin France, quick touch of the shoulder, but Michael Kuda read him well. Be another APIA throw in a similar position for Michael Kuda. And now Sydney. This is a good position for them to be in now. They can try and pick holes in this APIA defense from here. They go long down the line, but it's going to be easily retrieved there by Josh Simmons. And he'll smartly let it roll for a goal kick, and Oli Kalatz will restart play. Well, they almost mess it up, APIA, and eventually able to keep it with a throw, but Kalatz and Simmons just getting things mixed up there. Cambiashi tries to win the second ball, but it's well won back there by Will Kennedy. Tyler Williams goes back to his keeper, Hofslet. Wearing the bright highlighter keeper kit today, Gus Hofslet. Certainly standing out in the bright Sydney sun today as Stewart wins back possession. Rides a couple of challenges, beats not two but three, and easily finds Kuda getting forward once again. Kuda. Chino. Slide pass out to Fong. Goes inside, but it's won back again by Sydney. If they can counter in transition here, it'll be good, but here's Cascas breaking up that attack. Here is Cambiashi now. Links up with Stewart. Good touch football here by APIA. Stewart out to Ortiz. Thought about the shot, but had to hold up momentarily, and that time they'll settle for a corner. But the touches between Seiya Cambiashi, Jack Stewart, and Presley Ortiz were so crisp around the box. So much talent in that attacking line for APIA. Cambiashi again to deliver the corner. He's had plenty of practice already. That time he finds Matamalo, but he won the header, but no one was there to help him out with the second ball as Simmons flicks it back in, but Sydney FC say anywhere will do. Segredo thought about going quickly, but will let Michael Kuda come across to take the throw. Chino checks in short. Cambiashi can't turn away from trouble as France comes the other way with possession, and his body's all over the ground on the Lambert Park pitch, and the end result is Sydney FC winning a foul. So Chino's in no hurry to give the ball away to Jesus. Restart play for Sydney FC. Truly is a fantastic day at Lambert Park. Not too many empty seats in the main grandstand here this afternoon. Certainly plenty of excitement building as the year goes on towards the Australian Championship, especially for a club like APIA that's foundation club already confirmed to be in. Reminder that one other NPL New South Wales club will be entered into the Australian Championship, the highest non-foundation club, which at the moment would be Northwest Sydney Spirit. To Jesus. Goes inside then out. Uchino makes a good tackle. Cambiashi wanted to get to Ortiz. Goes down under the challenge. No foul, says the referee. And Cambiashi that time gives away the foul himself. Harbas lines up from distance and wasn't too far away. He caught that quite well, Alan Harbas. Just the one goal to his name back in round one against Spirit, and came through at Blacktown City. Played a couple of years at Sydney FC before Alan Harbas, before heading out to Finland on loan in the Finnish second tier, where he had a very, very good season. 20 goal contributions in 34 appearances. And he's rejoined Sydney FC for 2025. He's already made such a big impact. Hasn't been able to get into the game as much today, but that's been a real theme for all the Sydney attackers, really. And players like Matthias McAllister, who we're so used to seeing at the centre of everything for Sydney FC, he's barely had a touch so far. Which is a real credit to this APIA defence and how well they are set up today to deal with this young academy side. Here's Harbas now, and he's won his side a foul, and Sydney might have preferred the advantage on that occasion. Kalisic. Cronin. Go all the way back to Huslett. Turns. Thought about going right, but it goes back to Kalisic, and now they're under a bit of pressure. Ortiz collected Kalisic late, and Sydney can restart play again, this time in hopefully a bit more calmer fashion as they look to build out. Quick check of the shoulder from Mar in France, and evades Segredo to Jesus. Looking for that pass over the top to McAllister. It's a good one, but the young Sydney number 9 just drifted offside. And now we pause for the drinks break. It's very hot at pitch side today, and it's definitely well deserved for the players. It's been a very intense first 25 minutes or so. The ball's been moved at quite a fast rate, and APIA will certainly be happy with how they're going in this game. Took the lead early. They've, as mentioned, given up possession a little bit to Sydney FC, but it seems like it's been on terms APIA would like it to be. The game has gone on. Sydney have come more and more into the game, getting into the attacking half, but the best chance of the game for Sydney so far has been that Alan Harbas long shot. No doubt they'll look to try and build as the game goes on. Of course, there is one other game still to come on your NPL Sunday. That one over at the Sydney United Sports Centre between Sydney United 58 and the Central Coast Mariners. Mariners picking up a big draw down in Wollongong in the distance derby last week. So we'll see how they go against United at home. United have been looking for a consistent run of results on their own. A lot of these Australian Championship clubs, of course, looking to try and grow into the season as it goes, with the possibility of playing games in October and November. And some of these players who have only just gotten used to playing 30 games this season with the expanded competition, and now looking at the prospect of playing 40, 45 potentially, which is certainly a big load for part-time players. And if you look at all the Australian Championship clubs, they seem to try and recruit with the aim of building depth, knowing that they'll have to try and rotate their squad throughout the season to try and make things work. And I spoke to Franco Parisi before the game and asked him about how he's going to manage that and whether you can really plan for October and November when we've just gotten into March. He said that with players that might be carrying knocks or niggles in previous seasons, if a player was 70 or 80%, you might try and play them through. But this year they're taking no chances and giving players an extra week of rest if they need it. I think that would be definitely a common theme across all the Australian Championship clubs. Casper slides in to get out to Kuda. Segredo again. This is where he set up the first goal. Simmons, first time pass, out to Stewart, who's swapped over to the left wing. Stewart was in two minds about a pass or continuing his touch, and took a heavy touch instead and gave away the foul. See, APIA are well set at the moment. Lacey. Possession giveaway by Sydney, but they'll be able to keep it again. All the way back to Hookslett. Easy pass. Able to find Tyler Williams. Lacey checks in short this time. DeJesus wants it on this near side on the wing. And Lacey thought about going right then left, but went back to his defensive line instead. Now they might look to switch here, Sydney, and he does. DeJesus, the intended target. Has a bit of room to work with here. Has France down the wing. That's where he goes, but Segredo, who's having an excellent first half hour to start this game, especially on the attacking side of the ball, now doing his defensive duties. Lacey turns out of a tight corner. Williams out to Kalisic. And I think Tyler Williams and Joe Kalisic have probably touched the ball the most out of any two Sydney FC players. Had a lot of possession to feet, but it's been getting past that first major line of midfield that Sydney have found difficult to do. Adrian Uccino, Jordan Segredo, Seiya Kambiashi, Jack Stewart and Eddie Caspers are doing so well at the moment. McAllister able to win the header, but France had ducked inside. Now Kuda has a bit of space ahead of him. Tries to play between the defenders to Segredo, but it's cleaned up there by Tyler Williams. Almost ran over the sideline, but Sydney able to keep it, and Kuda's come forward here. Sydney can attack this space if they want, but Kuda throwing everything at trying to win back possession, and did so well there. Now Sydney look to play. Cronin was the intended target of that Will Kennedy pass. Fong. Oh, great pass forward. This could be something good here for Sydney. McAllister save. McAllister was on the follow-up, and that's a great save by Ollie Kallatz. And Sydney had something really going there. It was Joe Lacey on the half volley that was able to turn and shoot. That's really the first big involvement that Ollie Kallatz has had in this game, and it's a great save. Now APIA trying to build something of their own. Segredo, it's so dangerous already, cutting inside for Caspers. Laid off for Kambiashi, and he really skewed that one off the boot. Didn't make good enough connection on it, but APIA just shifting forward so quickly off a goal kick. It took them just 3 passes to create a good shot on the edge of the area for Seiya Kambayashi. And Sydney will be disappointed with how quickly they were able to give up that chance from the goal kick. Usually it's an opportunity to reset your defence and get everyone where they need to be, but that time APIA able to pass right through it. Jesus will take the throw that Michael Kuda wasn't happy went their way. Simmons in a battle with McAllister, neither are able to win the first head. And Watamalo brings it down to feet instead. And a quick turn by France has the overlapping to Jesus. And numbers are forward for Sydney, but it's cleanly won by Segredo. Will Kennedy. To Jesus. Tyler Williams. Here's Kalisic. Sydney go all the way from right to left. And eventually they complete the move out to Corey Cronin. Here's Tyler Williams. Slice pass forward. It's easily taken by Jack Stewart, and Presley Ortiz was the intended target. Lacey tries from distance again, and that time it's easily dealt with by Oli Kalatz in his 2 hands. And Sydney have again really, on the other side of this drinks break, have looked very good going forward. The difficulties they've had in getting into the final third in the first 15 minutes have evaporated. They seem to be getting through APIA with a lot more success. Meanwhile, APIA are on an attack here. Stewart has Fong to his right, goes himself, and off the post from Jack Stewart. He was so close there. APIA will get the reset, but Harvas takes possession away, and now Sydney can try and burst with a counter. But Fong is back there to send that out for a throw. And they'll win the throw here. I think it might have taken a touch on the way through, but Fong might have paid the price for it. Cameron Fong, who comes in for his second start of the season. He scored on his starting debut last week against Blacktown City. Previously of St. George and also part of the Sydney FC Academy, Cameron Fong. And he seems to be in some real discomfort there. I wonder if he might have twisted something as he went to ground on that sliding challenge. Synthetic pitch can be a little bit unforgiving at times, even if it's a brand new one like this one is here at Lambert Park. Chance for Jimmy Van Wieren and Franco Parisi to get a few more instructions into the 2 teams, and it looks like a substitution is being prepared. So Cameron Fong will unfortunately have to make an early exit. And it's going to be Joel Bertolicio. So a like-for-like swap, a defender for a defender. And Joel Bertolicio will take that spot over at right back. As mentioned, Bertolicio, who in the back 5 that APIA employed in the first 4 rounds, was part of the centre-back trio. Now finds himself at right back. Kuda is checked inside to receive, and here is Segredo again. Jordan Segredo. Again, he goes towards his right foot, looking for Caspers on the edge of the area. Out it goes to Bertolicio. First ball to feet here for the substitute. Gets past his defender. Back to Stewart. And Presley Ortiz was in the way of the shot, and he was offside. But again, APIA having success, especially when Jordan Segredo gets on the ball in this isolated space out on the wing. You can just see APIA players start making those off-ball runs. It causes so much havoc. Jordan Segredo had such a good season last year for APIA. 10 goals in 2024 for Jordan Segredo after joining from the Central Coast Mariners Academy. He was a big part of their success last season in attack, and he's already started this season quite well, where he has a couple goals to his name and has added a tidy assist already here this Sunday afternoon. Guatemala, that'll just float up in the wind, but it comes down well there for Michael Kuda. Segredo again, a familiar position. Back it goes to Kuda, and they almost made that combination work again. It's that underlapping run of Michael Kuda, which is so hard to defend right now for Sydney FC. As Kambiashi has drifted wide himself, has plenty of space to attack. He's allowed deep into the area. They're queuing up. Stewart was the man on the shot. A couple of wide shirts in the way, though, for Sydney FC. There's an interesting little supporters battle away to my right. The Cove, of course, in full voice, but anytime they're off the drums, there's a nice little group of APIA juniors, no doubt from their SAP teams, that are trying to make plenty of noise for their side. And the best part about it is they're standing right next to each other. As McAllister tries to get on the end of that Corey Cronin cross, but Josh Simmons continues his rock-solid afternoon at the back for APIA Leichhardt. Will Kennedy across to take this throw. Launching it into the box. It's a good throw as well, and it takes a couple of touches on the way through. Kalatz couldn't get a clean punch on it, but it's fallen back here for Lockie Middleton. He puts it wide for DeJesus. Floated ball in, and there's no one on the near post for Sydney, but a slightly nervy moment at the back there for APIA. But Kalatz is able to defuse the situation. Here is Kambiashi. Good pass forward for Ortiz. The flag has stayed down for now. APIA continue their attack. Presley Ortiz takes his man towards the right. A good challenge on the ground there by Tyler Williams. And that's great defending by the Sydney FC centre-back. Good pressing by Kambiashi has won the ball in an advantageous position. Ortiz tries to get it onto the right foot. This time it's the left instead. Goes to ground. Half-hearted shouts of a penalty, and the end result is a Sydney FC goal kick. Not long left in the first half, probably 10 minutes or so. We might have a bit of additional time due to that drinks break and the Cameron Fong injury. 39 minutes gone here at Lambert Park. Cheeto. Pass just doesn't come down for Joel Bertolicio. Will Kennedy. Oh, he's on the ball now. Lacey goes in strong on Kambiashi, wins it well. And now a quick pass forward. Here is McAllister. Guatemala stepping back well, and Matthias McAllister hasn't had all that much service to work with, and now I think that's Joe Lacey that goes into the book there on a late challenge on Eddie Kaspers. Kalatz. And Kuda dropped short for him, and APIA can resume. Uchino. Segredo. Guatemala. Now the APIA SAP supporters are in full voice, rivaling the Cove. It's been a great afternoon in terms of atmosphere, and the football's been just as high quality. As here goes Jack Stewart. Lovely pass disguised to Kaspers. If you can keep it in, the attack will be dangerous, but just rolling out of play there, and it looks like Sydney player might have picked up a knock. It could be Corey Cronin on that far side. Looks to be in some real discomfort there, the Sydney FC left back. It's twisting and turning. This looks rather serious. But Alicia wins the header. Kaspers brings it back onto the deck. Stewart. Kambiashi has options towards his left. Kuda is the man charging forward. Michael Kuda. Floated ball back post. Stewart will have to retrieve. Deflection off the APIA winger on its way through, and Sydney FC will take the throw. And Corey Cronin is still receiving treatment. He hasn't gotten back on his feet yet. And the substitution early might be coming here. Of course, APIA have already gone to their bench with Cameron Fong replaced by Joel Bertolicio. Kaspers just left it behind. To Jesus. Middleton had his pocket picked, and Kambiashi has Ortiz to his right. This is dangerous here for APIA. Presley Ortiz trying to get the shot away and just stumbled over the ball at the fatal moment. And that was a big opportunity for APIA. They'll be disappointed they didn't get at least a shot on target out of that. And Presley Ortiz, who is usually so clinical in those types of positions, just couldn't get the ball out of his own 2 feet there. That's exactly the type of thing Sydney FC will want to avoid. Yes, APIA are happy to give them possession, but giving it the ball away in that kind of area is so dangerous. And in the background, that substitution for Corey Cronin has gone through. Dylan Rose is now onto the pitch, and he's gone into midfield. So we'll see how the rest of the Sydney FC 11 shapes up. There'll be a bit of a reshuffle. Tyler Williams. To Jesus. Lockie Middleton. Kalisic. Takes the space afforded to him, and the ball is deflected its way through to Harbas, off the post, and that is as close as Sydney FC have come all afternoon. And I think that's about as close as you can get without scoring there from Alan Harbas. Not only did it hit the inside of the post, it hit the inside of the post and almost rebounded back into the net. And in a stroke of luck from an APIA perspective, it rebounded straight into the hands of Ollie Kalatz and not to any Sydney FC attackers that were there waiting for the rebound. But another big warning shot fired by Sydney FC. They are creating chances now in the latter stages of this half. Lacey, great release to Mar and France. They come forward against Sydney. Back it goes to France. Ortiz will have to hold up possession here and wait for some support. Kambiyashi doesn't have the turn of speed. And that's some great touches there by Dylan Rose. Good involvement from the substitute. Harbas can't get past the veteran, Tembo Matamalo. Floated delivery to the edge of the area, but totally onto the chest of Eddie Kaspers. Kambiyashi. Long ball forward, and this will bounce nice and easily for Hutzlet. So just a couple of minutes left in the first half. There's McAllister. He's beaten the offside trap here by APIA. This could be good for Sydney. Matthias McAllister. Fake shot from the left onto the right, but it was read by the APIA defence. There's Uchino. Didn't get rid of the ball quick enough. Shot comes in, and it's dealt with on the ground there by Simmons. Jesus. Oh, turns his man, Jordan Segredo. Can he beat the second? Kuda was there. And it's a frustrating end to that attack for Sydney FC. Zach DeJesus showed so much promise. Wasn't able to beat the second defender, Michael Kuda. And Zach DeJesus, he's been a busy man this week. He's racked up the frequent flyer miles. He travelled to John Book for Sydney FC's 2-0 win in the first leg of the Asian Champions League 2 round of 16. Will Kennedy was also part of that squad. He's here today as well, so they were involved midweek over in Korea, and they're back starting here tonight. A big effort by both of them to go from the cool of Korea to the heat of Sydney. Mara and France, great skill. Can he find the shooting angle? It was shot down. Sydney's attack comes to an end, as does the first half. So APIA, they've taken the lead early, had a bit of control, but Sydney FC have found more ways to get at the APIA defence as the half has gone on. Michael Kuda's early goal, the difference as the two sides head into the sheds for a well-deserved break after a great half of football. I've been Will Constantinidis with you for the first 45. We'll see you back soon on the other side of this short break. Welcome back to the second half here at Lambert Park. Great first 45 we had. Now, hopefully an even better second 45 awaits. APIA were the second team out of the sheds, despite the fact that they were leading. No doubt Franco Parisi was looking to add a bit more defensive solidarity to his team, trying to get their first clean sheet of the season as well, after 4 rounds of conceding plenty of goals. And Sydney were coming into the game more and more as it went. And that might have been something that they needed to address at the break. So it'll be APIA to get us underway. Cambiashi and Ortiz over this one. No changes at the break, but we did have a sub that was forced by both benches. Joel Bertolicio replaced Cameron Fong, and Dylan Rose replaced Corey Cronin. Stewart gets going. It's well defended at the back. Will Kennedy doing well there, and Rose. Touch was heavy. Here is Cambiashi as APIA look to get going quickly. Kennedy. Pass was well read by Bertolicio. Pacino. Bertolicio. Cambiashi. Bertolicio able to get to the byline here. Cutting in a good ball, and it just needed a tap in from Presley Ortiz. And he was half a step behind it, but that's a great chance by APIA. Presley Ortiz just needed to get meaningful connection on it. And that's a bright spark there by Bertolicio. Rose. Battling in midfield. Kuda wins it cleanly. Great pass to release Segredo, looking for the finish, straight at Hoofsloot. And he does well to get back and reclaim the ball at the second attempt. And that combination that produced APIA the first goal, almost working in reverse there. Instead of Segredo to Kuda, it was Kuda to Segredo. Now DeJesus can carry. Harbas, good touch to bring it down, and the volley! And he wasn't far away again, Alan Harbas. His third shot of the game. He's already hit the post once. And he made such great connection with that one. I'm not sure Ollie Kalatz would have saved it had it been on target. Maybe just a bit too much of that outside of the foot swerve. Carried it away from goal, but again, Alan Harbas continues to look really threatening on that right wing for Sydney. Such great technique to bring the ball down, and almost matched it with the finish. As Rose wins the header, but it's over towards the APIA bench. Of course, a reminder after this one at 5 p.m. we have Sydney United 58 against Central Coast Mariners. That's our final round 5 game for the NPL men's season. For the NPL women's season, that one kicks off tonight. APIA Leichhardt will host MacArthur Rams right after this game at 5:45. That one will be a very tasty grand final rematch. A game that went all the way to penalties in one of the best grand finals we've ever seen. Cambiashi tries to poke his way through the Sydney FC shirts. Kuda has stepped up here to pressure Harbas. Well, one in the air. Cambiashi now. Looking to bring it onto that more favoured right foot. Has numbers on the edge of the area. Goes back post. It was awkward for Stewart to control. Half-hearted shouts of handball. They were mostly from the players that were further away. Stewart didn't seem too interested. He's back on the ball now. This time goes for the cross, and Ortiz was the man he wanted. Gus Hoofsloot was the man he ended up finding. And now there's another injury here. It's like Will Kennedy, who's maybe taken a bit of a knock here, or I'm not sure if this is a knock or if it was a planned substitution. He's made his way to the bench rather quickly. Is he in need of just a bit of water? Might have popped a knock to the eye or something. Just needs to wash something out, perhaps. as mentioned, Will Kennedy, one of those players like Zachary Jesus, who was over in Korea midweek. He's doing well so far, hasn't shown any signs of jet lag. It is a pretty decent flight out to Korea. He played a great game against John Book Motors, coming away 2-0 winners, which will set them up well for the second leg on the 13th. Stewart finds the ball fortunately to feet. Thought about the shot initially, decided against it. And again, too many Sydney FC players in his way. Another substitution has gone on at the break. We'll get confirmation on that one. Here's Harbas. The man on now is Tay Headley. He's in the number 10 jersey in midfield. Chino sliding in, but unable to keep the attack going. Jesus receives the return pass. That one off of Lockie Middleton. Well, one back. At the top by Ortiz. Has Stewart. Cambiashi is also in support. Saya Cambiashi getting into the box now. Has numbers on his back. Lays it off for Jack Stewart. And just couldn't keep his head over the ball. That'll go out. Here's Dylan Rose. Lacey has, or Headley rather, has plenty of company. Lost his boot in the process. And Segredo is appealing for it. I think he might have trotted on young Tay Headley there. His boot went flying into the sky. And it looks like Will Kennedy has actually had his jersey swapped, so he might have had a bit of blood on that. It looks like his nose is patched up. He is wearing the number 8 jersey now. He was wearing 21 before. He's still at left back. Hofslet. Stewart able to win possession back, and APIA can attack, but Casper's stayed on side. Thought he might have come from an offside position there, but Guatemala able to win it off Harbas. Goes down, and Harbas might have caught him late there as APIA looked to go quick. It's dealt with well by Rose. Jesus bursting forward. Can't get past Segredo though. Ortiz. Great swing pass out to Stewart from Caspers. Stewart, he's had a couple of opportunities in this area. He's looked to shoot a couple times, but he's maybe just hesitated on fully pulling the trigger. Here he is now. Decent ball in, but it's well caught by Hofslut. Back they go to Hofslut. Kalisic. Good pass down the line, but Guatemala able to intercept. France had ideas of going over the top instead. Segredo keeps the pass moving to Michael Cooter, and it looks like a couple subs might be being readied there by Franco Parisi. Segredo again gets to the byline. It takes a deflection though, and again Gus Hofslut, who's been a busy man to start the second half, has more work to do. Caspers goes down, and I think it might have been a head knock somewhere in the middle there. Marin France, who lost his balance and inadvertently collected Eddie Caspers, might have copped a knock on the head on the way through. Harbas goes down for Simmons, and there's been plenty of ticky-tack fouls already. Plenty of busy work for our referee to do. It's been a physical affair, especially in this second half. And APIA, despite the fact they're leading 1-0, you get the sense that they're not content with that. Especially after seeing the chances that Sydney FC had in the first half and have had in the second half. Alan Harbas looks the most likely man to score for Sydney FC right now. DeJesus, lovely touches to get past Segredo. He's looked good going forward. Zach DeJesus, a decent cross in. It had Calats interested. It took a deflection, and that'll be a Sydney FC corner. As mentioned, APIA's set-piece struggles are well known. Half of their goals have been from penalties, free kicks or corners out of the 12 that they've conceded. Quite a remarkable record, really, for a side that was quite good defensively last year. They only conceded 3 goals after 4 rounds last year in 2024. To start 2025, they conceded 9 more in the same amount of time. And Sydney looks to be setting up for something deep here. Ball goes in, it's to the near post, doesn't quite clear the first defender, but it's still in a good position for Sydney. Headley cuts towards his left. Calats easily takes. Bertolicio decides to go himself, but doesn't have much ahead of him. He finds Segredo. Thought he might have won the foul there. APIA very strongly upset about how that one went down. And now Will Kennedy, who's already copped a bloody nose, is down on the pitch. Now this will be a improvised drinks break. Yes, we did have one after 25 minutes in the first half. Still a bit of a way to go till we get the second one. It's only been 57 minutes gone here at Lambert Park. And so it looks like a substitution will have to come. It looks like this might be a little bit of cramp for Will Kennedy. He's got both his hamstrings being stretched out right now. If both his hamstrings are cramping at once, and that is a very, very painful thing to be going through. Hopefully it is nothing more than a cramp. As mentioned, he's travelled recently, so that might have something to do with it. Of course, a lot of these Sydney FC players are always in and out of the NPL, the A-League, and now with Sydney FC's Champions League commitments, always around those squads as the core A-League players are stretched thinner and thinner, which means more opportunities for the youngsters. I did speak to Jimmy Van Wieren before the game. He said it was great because he can show players that there is a real pathway, and that once you get to the under-20s or the NPL first team, you're not that far away from making your senior debut. He pointed to Wataru Kamija was a great example. He was playing not that long ago for Sydney FC, just 2-3 weeks ago against Sydney United 58, and now he's a first team regular. And so Will Kennedy, looks like his afternoon will come to an early end. He's had a good afternoon at that as well. And so now that substitution will go through. It'll be Jared Middleton, who will replace Will Kennedy. And so that's Sydney FC's third substitution of the game already, and we haven't hit the hour mark just yet. If my knowledge serves me correct, they only have one more substitution window to make. Of course, they did use one in the first half. They had one at half time. just used another one there. Here's Rose. Harbas is released, but it just holds up for Simmons. Another ball is coming after that one is sent behind the clubhouse, and it'll be sent back. Cambiashi, nice technique to find Segredo. Ortiz has his jersey handled, and it's illegally handled, says our referee. And Uchino's just having a bit of a word. This might delay proceedings up just a little bit, but APIA will be happy to try and slow things down when Sydney FC are attacking. They'll not want to slow it down too much. They won't want to sit back on this 1-0 lead, I don't think. As mentioned, whilst they've conceded 12 goals to start the season, they've also scored 12. They're at an even 0 goal difference. Goals conceded is actually the third most out of any side in the NPL men's competition. The 12 goals scored is the equal highest amount. Spirit also scored 12 goals in 4 games coming into the weekend and added another 3 against the Western Sydney Wanderers in our match of the round last night. What a match that was, by the way. Spirit showing every reason why they're a real title contender. And APIA will remember well that they were really trounced 3-0 by Spirit last time they played at Lambert Park. That one just a couple of weeks back. Harbas. Oh, good pass forward to McAllister. He's got the other side of the defender, and he's rattled the woodwork. And that's the second time this afternoon that Sydney FC have struck the frame of the goal. Alan Harbas in the first half, and Matthias McAllister just now. And they'll feel that a goal is coming soon. That was a great pass to find him as well. Matthias McAllister did so well. He wasn't tracked by Temba Muatamalo. Did well to bring it down with the first touch and made great connection with it on the half volley. Uchino. Here is Caspers now. Simmons. Now, Michael Kuda. Bursting forward once more. Has that taken a deflection? It has. And that will be another APIA corner. Corner count mounting for APIA. Looking to hopefully take advantage of one soon. Extend this lead to 2-0. I have a feeling that 1-0 might not be enough to see out this game with the way Sydney are going. Cambiashi again on set piece duties. Near post, can't beat Tay Headley. Uchino. Stewart. Turns his man inside and out. Stewart, good cross in, not cleared at the first attempt. Uchino comes down with the second ball. Bertolicio. Again to Stewart. Attacking the defence. Top of the box for Caspers. Could think about a shot. Decides for the pass instead. And Bertolicio, who's got forward from right back here, might leave a bit of a hole. And there is Caspers doing so well to track back and avoid any danger defensively. Matamalo. Simmons. Stewart has the overlapping Bertolicio to his right. Thought about the pass forward instead. It'll stay with APIA. They keep the attack moving. Stewart goes centrally, beats a couple of defenders, beats another one as well, looking to set up Segredo. But Jared Middleton was in the way. APIA, a siege on the Sydney FC goal right now. Middleton again. France sends Uchino the wrong way and forces Matamawa to make a challenge, and a legal one it was. Referee feeling that France went to ground a little too easy there. Uchino, crossfield switch of space has opened up here for Segredo, but Hosselet is out, and that's good sweeper keeper work there by the young Socceroo. It could be set to make a sub soon by the looks of things. Here's Kuda. Harbas. Mara in France. Lachlan Middleton. Kalisic. Rose. Sydney just taking their time. Still plenty of time, of course. 65 minutes gone at Lambert Park. Still that early third-minute goal by Michael Kuda the difference. One chance to convert is all Sydney FC need. They've come so close already, hit the post twice. And now Franco Parisi will go to his bench. So Presley Ortiz looks like he'll be making way. Adrian Uchino also the man coming off. So Alex Denmead will replace Presley Ortiz. That's a like-for-like swap at the top of the attack. Meanwhile, Adrian Uchino will be also making way. We get final confirmation of who's replaced him. Looks like it is Maxim Kasalovic. He also goes straight into midfield. So fresh legs up front, fresh legs in midfield for Franco Parisi as his side look to close out the final stages of this game. Maybe think about adding a second goal with Denmead creating new troubles up front. Kuda goes the shot himself. Flashes wide of the goal again. And now that'll prompt the drinks break. So Franco Parisi got the sub just in time. And that's the 70-minute mark. So both teams will get a bit of a break from the heat. A very hot March day here in Sydney's Inner West. As the game goes on, this 1-0 lead might be a bit more nervy for APIA Leichhardt. Of course, the tendency is when you're 1-0 up trying to close the game out to sit back and absorb pressure. We'll see if that happens or if they try and keep their foot down on Sydney FC. They've done well, really, to deny them of chances, but when Sydney have had chances, they've looked good. As mentioned, hit the post once, crossbar once as well. And really, the back of the net is the only part of the goal they haven't found. So we'll see what adjustments tactically are forced out of the break. Just 20 minutes to go, of course. So really his final touches for both coaches. We'll restart with a goal kick through Gus Hoofsloot. To Jesus. Well read by Kasalovic. Tracked the pass well. Here is Segredo. Lines it up, and Hoofsloot had it covered and was happy to see it go wide of the post. McAllister drops it short for Lockie Middleton, and Headley was looking for it over the top, but Sydney's ability to get forward still finding it difficult as Middleton turns. To Jesus and Headley. Kambiyashi. Segredo now, and plenty of defenders for company. Denmead tried to latch onto it, but touch was a bit loose, and now Kasalovic presses forward for APIA. Hoofsloot launches it forward. That won't be near anyone in particular, and that'll be an easy APIA throw. But Alicia to get things going again. Denmead tries to flick it around the corner. Harbas is on the back of Caspers. Simmons goes in strong. Kasalovic. Kuda. APIA still in the hunt of that second goal. You'd think it might be enough to secure them the 3 points if they were to get it now. Simmons. Sent over the sideline. So here comes the final substitutions for Jimmy Van Wieren. Myron France makes his way. Alan Harbas, who is very unlucky not to have scored this afternoon, he gives the captain's armband to Joe Kalisic. Harbas, who had probably the most quality opportunities of any Sydney FC player, hit the post, hit the inside of the post as well. Unfortunately, from his perspective, ends the afternoon without a goal. He's replaced by Noah Matthew. Also coming on is Zach Fowler. So that's everyone off the bench, all 5 outfield players. The backup goalkeeper this afternoon was Alex Zavadinos. We'll run you through APIA's bench in a moment as well. And the other players on the bench for APIA are Anthony Sparacino and Nicholas Azone. Sparacino a more defensive option, Azone an option in the attacking third. And the Cove really finding their voice now in these final 15 minutes, trying to push their side on to find an important equaliser. It's been a few weeks without a win for Sydney FC. Their last win came back in round 2 against Sydney United 58, which was a really good performance. A 5-0 loss to St George, which admittedly they did have a lot of players out for that game. Wasn't a first choice 11. And then a 0-0 draw at home, whilst at Cromer Park to Manly United. This would also be APIA's first win since round 2 if the result were to hold. Matthew had good ideas on trying to spread it wide to Jared Middleton. Couldn't match the execution though. Middleton. Lachlan Middleton, that is. Of course, Jared Middleton now at left back in the number 14. Lachlan Middleton in the 27 in midfield. To Jesus. Here is Tay Headley. Headley. Good touch, and has won himself a foul. And this is a good position here for Sydney FC. They can certainly think about the shot if they want. It's definitely not too wide to have a crack from this type of distance. Of course, as set pieces is definitely a way they can try and get at APIA. "15 minutes left for Sydney to find an equaliser or for APIA to extend their lead." Headley and McAllister standing over it. Just 3 in the wall for Calax. Headley, the man to take this one. Headley tries the shot, but it didn't have Calax particularly worried. Calax will slow things down a little bit from their perspective. Denmead goes up, but it was overhit. Calax got it instead. Matthew flicks it on well, but Simmons is in the way. Middleton twists and turns and finds Tay Headley. Sydney trying to create something here, but it's dealt with by Joel Bertolicio, who's looked good since being brought on as an early substitution. Zach Fowler has played in behind here, and this might be good for Sydney, but it's, again, Joel Bertolicio is at the centre of everything. This back four of APIA has looked pretty strong, especially compared to previous weeks. I wonder if they will stick with the back four going forward, or if they go back to the back five. Saya Kambiashi at the 10 has also been a big change as a result of that, and he's also looked quite tidy. Rose, intercepted by Kuda, and there's Caspers. Went to ground. No advantage accruing. That'll be an APIA free kick. Bertolicio. Kasalovic. Matamalo. Simmons. McAllister is the man running at him. Now McAllister will press Calax, force him into the long option. Middleton in the air. Good touches by Caspers. Segredo, rather. Really tough to pick who would be the player of the match today for APIA, but I have to say it is Segredo. Anytime APIA have gotten the ball, he's always part of the attacking move. Here is Bertolicio now. Getting forward, getting to the byline, shooting himself, and he almost forced it in. And at the back post, it finds its way in, and Alex Denmead doubles APIA's lead. And that might be enough to seal all 3 points. Alex Denmead, you could just see he threw himself at the ball. Was not going to be stopped. He knew that he just needed to get a touch on the goal line. And again, it's down to the industrious work of Joel Bertolicio. It started with Segredo, who played through Stewart. It didn't work at the first attempt, but then Bertolicio won it back in a really good position. Sydney FC giving the ball away in a bad area, and Bertolicio was allowed to get to the byline, almost forced it in from a tight angle. And from there, Alex Denmead did the rest to add goal number 2 for 2025. And in the midst of all those celebrations, the substitution has gone through. Saya Kambiashi has come off. And he's been replaced by Anthony Sparacino. So not quite like for like there, but APIA might be just switching things up a little bit as they try and hold out this lead with just over 10 minutes remaining. But Sydney FC, they'll really rue those chances. It is tough to hit the post twice and not score in a game. They had some other good chances too. Calitz has made a couple of decent saves. A couple of other shots have gone close near the goal, but APIA have just been on their game attacking-wise today and maybe ridden a bit of luck defensively, but it's the kind of luck they would have been hoping for after the amount of goals they've conceded in previous weeks. And if they can notch a first clean sheet here, that'll fill Franco Parisi's men with plenty of confidence. Calitz just being given the hurry up there. As mentioned, Sydney FC have a decent record at Lambert Park. That might be set to come to an end. APIA have only beaten Sydney once here since 2022, which is a pretty astounding record. I mean, they've played extremely high-scoring games in the past. This one hasn't quite felt like that, although at times, depending on which side of the woodwork you're here, it could have ended up that way. Last season, they played out a 5-1 win for Sydney FC in August at Lambert Park. And then in the return fixture earlier in the year, in May, it was a 7-1 win for APIA. That's 14 goals between them in their last two matches. Not quite the same fireworks here, but it's been just as good a game of football. And I think up until that Alex Denmead second goal, I think Sydney FC were well and truly in the hunt for at least a point. Nicozone also on for APIA. That's all players off the bench for APIA now. He's replaced Joel. Oh no, he hasn't. Joel Bertolucci has gone into midfield. He's replaced Eddie Caspers. Sparacino has replaced Cambiashi. Ball over the top. Zone is back there and gets the call and easily plays Calitz. APIA see away that danger. Between these two teams, this, as mentioned, this game's uncharacteristically low scoring. 4 of their last 7 between them have had more than 5 goals. 6 of the last 7 have had 3 or more, so whether we get another goal in today's game will remain to be seen. Still plenty of time. Whether Sydney FC will make it interesting or whether APIA will make it more comfortable, as Maitamalo, that was uncomfortable as he played out. Fowler has to go wide, not much ahead of him. Rose. Ball out wide. That's between a couple of players, and Sparacino has Alex Denmead ahead of him. Had to check his run, and now he goes. Has the flag stayed down here? It has. Had he gotten to that, he would have been onside. Play continues. Sydney in need of a goal in a hurry. Rose. McAllister. Jared Middleton. Now Noah Matthew. Checking inside again, looking for some support. He swings it to his opposite winger. That's Zach De Jesus. Tay Headley. Looking for a disguised cross, but Maitamalo's there to meet it. And now APIA have a counter of their own. It's spun away though from Jack Stewart. Denmead's pass was flicking towards the Sydney FC defence. Cross in from Fowler. It's a good one as well. Matthew gets to the back post, but was off balance as he struck it. Time continues to tick away for Sydney FC. See how much added time there is. You'd think there'd be a fair bit. Plenty of substitutions. A few stoppages as well, especially for the 2 knocks that Will Kennedy suffered. And of course the goal. Kasalovic goes over the top again. It's aerial ping pong right now. Kasalovic is up again, and there is Tyler Williams. This one it's kept on the ground. Bertoluccio is there to back up Kasalovic. Stewart finds Segredo wide. Winger to winger from APIA Leichhardt, and there's no one at the back post with Stewart having drifted inside instead. Can they keep this clean sheet? It would do so much for their confidence. Meanwhile, Sydney FC will be trying to find the back of the net for just as good a reason. They'll want to avoid 3 games without scoring. Which, as mentioned, is a real shame. I don't think that's reflected their attacking quality. They've created so many chances, just haven't found the cutting edge. And when I spoke to Jimmy Van Wieren before the game, he said as much, that the data that they have shows that they're good building up and they're good getting into the area. They just can't finish the chances when they come. Denmead. Kalisic. Headley gets tangled up, but play keeps going. Advantage played for Sydney. Matthew. Great work by Kuna again. He's probably another contender for player of the match. Segredo has stayed on side here for Apia, looking to add the finishing touches. Well saved by Hoofsloot. He shut down the angles. And Segredo's probably deserved a goal today for his performance, but maybe some tired legs at the end of that shot there. Again, it was Michael Kuda who created the move. It was just as good a save there by Hoofsloot to get down quickly and well. There's Cambiashi off. It'll be Segredo to take. They go short to Kuda. Stewart goes from distance himself, and that's always rising. Headley, quick passes in midfield. Up next for these two teams, Apia at home against St. George next week. St. George FC, that is. That'll be an interesting game. St. George have found a bit of interesting form as of late. Got a massive win on Friday night against Sutherland, a 3-0 drumming of a pretty quality Sutherland side as well. Meanwhile, Sydney FC are at home against Marconi. That'll be a very interesting game too. Marconi drawing against Sydney Olympic on Saturday night. As that one goes onto the, not just the clubhouse roof, but the roof of the building behind. That'll chew more time down for Apia, which will be good from their perspective. You might see a few of the NPL women's players, or the Macarthur Rams and Apia Leichhardt sides warming up over on that far side. There's another reminder that game is going to kick off at 5:45 in the grand final rematch. Now women's match of the round. Fowler has drifted in behind here, looking to add something for Sydney. Great save by Kalatz. Fowler got a second touch, but couldn't get a clean enough connection to put it into the back of the net. And APIA's clean sheet remains intact for now, but it's come under threat on many occasions this afternoon. Whether it be the post or Ollie Kalatz's heroics, that goal remains unbreached. Fowler did so well the first shot and then followed it up. Was off balance and reaching for it. And was that offside flag? Sorry, the corner flag on the far side is tilted over. Not once but twice. Stewart, clearance, put it back into the danger. To Jesus, has a long shot, but again off target. So at the end of the 90 now, just stoppage time left. I have to think there'd be at least 3 or 4 minutes. So APIA, they look set so far to take their all-important first clean sheet of the season. Also a first win of the season at home. Their only win came away to the Mariners. That one was a 2-6 thumping at Plume Park. So both their wins coming against academy sides. For Sydney, they will unfortunately have to go 3 games without scoring if they can't find one here. Middleton. And that one is sent onto Marion Street by Bertolicio. They've got a bit of a view over the street and no cars were hit. No doubt another one for ground operations manager Serge Bucciarelli to go collect. A common feature of teams at Lambert Park is all the balls sent over either side really. It's a tight ground in Sydney's inner west. Plenty of balls lost throughout the year. I think APIA will probably rack up the highest bill in terms of footballs and orders from Football New South Wales for more as the year goes on. Rose tries to make a difference. McAllister left it behind him, but it's to the benefit of Noah Matthew. And again, there is Ollie Kalatz. A good save, but he needed to make it. He was destined for the top corner, and he was well positioned to make it look pretty comfortable. There's 2 balls on the pitch here. Headley will have to recollect. APIA Bull Kids maybe playing a bit of disruptor there. This time Headley swings it in. It's on the keeper. Matamalo got his head to it. Rose has to track it down. Does find Headley well. Good touches to get past the zone A. Swings him inside and out, but eventually it's won back by Kasalovic on the intercept. Here is Stewart now. He's looking for Denmead in support. And so not long left, you'd think, for Sydney FC to maybe try and find something in this game. But that one is a bit too close to Ollie Kalatz, and he saw that all the way and drops to the ground. And Sydney FC, again, had so much promise in this game. I think maybe good value for a goal, but they'll go scoreless. And that is full time from Lambert Park. APIA get their first win at home for 2025. A first clean sheet at that as well. Michael Kuda with an early goal inside 3 minutes, and then Alex Denmead added another with 16 minutes to go. And that was enough to get APIA all 3 points after going 2 games without a win. It's a result that they definitely needed as they look to march on against St. George FC at home next week. A reminder, the NPL women's game is coming up after this, the grand final rematch between APIA Leichhardt and the MacArthur Rams. If you want to watch the NPL men's, Sydney United and Central Coast Mariners has also kicked off as well. You can watch all of that on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. I've been Will Constantinides. It's been a pleasure to be bringing you this one from Lambert Park. We'll see you back soon for more NPL football.
1-1. 1-2, 1-2. 1-1, 1-1, 1-2. 1-1, 1-2. 1-1, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, 1-1.